but them don't want equal rights. Some of them turn up. And them turn up. Men, but we're African men, innit? We're African men, innit? We're African men, are we? And all the men them don't stand. We can't stand the knives them give us, so we make them sit down before they start muscling.
And we want our young men doing chairs before our elders, please.
So
we want our young men before our elders.
Yeah.
You're a young man!
And so if you see the elders, in fact, if you see any elders standing, you know, so women want to sit down, you know, come and get your seat.
There's a few chairs at the front. I'm looking at about 5, 6.
Me personally, they don't get on my seats, they don't.
Accepting yourself when you're feeling down is not going to help you, is it?
Okay, that's part of just, as you see on the first one it says exactly as you are. So accepting however it is you feel, even if you don't feel good, accept that, and it's still okay. Okay, because it's starting a process. All right, I hope you'll be in my workshop. You're gonna be in my workshop.
All right, give a round of applause.
Can we put our hands together for Dr. Stephen Ferguson speaking on creative health solution using live young analysis?
You're dressed up in your overall and you're at the traffic lights. What would be the first thing that you would do? Anybody like to tell me? What did you say? Analyze. Analyze and observe. Anybody else? Check what the problem is. So we've got analyze, observe, check what the problem is. Anybody else? Now these are all brilliant answers. Anybody else? So what did you say? Set up temporary lights. So basically, we haven't even started fixing the lights yet. We're observing, which is good. Look at the power supply. So all of this is to do with gentle analyzation. But who, anybody in the room, would you go up with a hammer and a chisel and a screwdriver and start whacking things to pieces, cutting it open, ripping things out and saying, oh, I don't need this anymore? Would you do that? Get an instruction manual. So would anybody in here rip into it, cut it open, rip things out and discard and say, well, we don't really need that? Would anyone agree to that? Any hands? No hands. Now, not that we're speaking against them in any way, but what happens today when you go into a hospital? You've got a pain in your back, and what happens? What do they do with your L1s and L2s? You lower this, oh, well, this is giving you problems. What we need to do is rip it out and discard it, because you don't need it anymore. Once it's out of your body, you'll be fine. And then what happens to the person when they go home? And let me ask you this. When you go to hospital, where do you recover? In the hospital? They say they're sending you home to... That's a bit strange. Isn't the hospital where you get healed? Not that we're telling anyone not to go, but the point is, how can you be going home to recover? Didn't you just get an ambulance to take you from home to the hospital to recover? So why is it that all of a sudden now you're recovering at home? Do you see the point? Sometimes we don't recognize these things. And we have to ask ourselves, when you go to visit your GP, does he tell you what you need in this day and age, or do you tell him what's going on and you've got a good knowledge of what you need? Because what's been put into our subconscious mind from children, from the time you're a little child, oh, just do as this, just do as they tell you, I'll give you a... What happens? Now this information goes down into our subconscious mind. Can anybody tell me what the mind is even? What's the mind? What's the mind? and it's not our brain, what would you say the mind is? Someone said spirit. It's spiritual, the universe. Do you see the point? Our brain is not our mind, just as much as our foot is not our mind. Our mind exists in every cell of our body, and when things are put into us as children, it becomes normal. The powers that be have planned all of this from centuries ago. And so many people are just falling into this trap. Does your mind affect your blood cells? Shall I tell you how powerful the mind is? You can be upset by someone, you can be the healthiest person walking around, you get upset, we'll take a piece of your blood, put it under the microscope, look at it on the screen, and your cells will have changed. You'll see that your cells have coagulated. That just shows you how powerful the mind is. Has anyone ever had a family member where or themselves, well, the doctor said to you, well, I'm sorry, you've got X amount of years to live. Oh, I think you'll have another 6 years, or another... What has that doctor just done? What have they just done? Sorry? They're giving you a death sentence. And where has that message gone? It's gone from the conscious mind into the subconscious mind. And it becomes a belief. It affects your cells. It affects your blood cells. I'll give you an example. There was a man, he was told by his doctor that he's got 4 months to live. He was going to have a heart attack in 4 months' time. Heart failure, he would just collapse and that would be it. On that exact day, the man died of a heart attack. When they did the post-mortem, they cut him open, there was actually nothing wrong with his heart. But the message was so powerful. It went into his subconscious mind. Now let me tell you a bit about my background. I had hypertension. I had chronic asthma as a child. I had arthritis so that I couldn't even move any of my limbs. I had plantar fasciitis. I had problems with my knees. And what happened was, as a child, they used to regularly give me, well, you could say they treated me as a guinea pig. First of all, it was Spinhaler. I don't know if anybody here knows about that. Well, I was one of the first to try it out, test it out, and I asked myself, why was it that when I was a child, my asthma was reasonably bad, it wasn't that bad, but then it got worse and worse and worse and worse. Why is that? Because the chemicals were actually weakening my bronchial tubes, weakening my alveoli. And I'm sure there's some in the audience here that do suffer from asthma and are regularly. And sometimes you'll be lying down with palpitations, your heart will just be going. Now why is that? Why is it that the amlodipine, that I'm sure many in the room take, the amlodipine, why is it that the amlodipine is not lowering your blood pressure? Why is that? Sorry? Yeah. Why is it the amlodipine, the hypertension tablets, the amlodipine, why is it not completely lowering our blood pressure? What you have to look at is that we've got a substance in our body called melanin. Insects have melanin in their body. And what they do, it wraps around the insect and it's used to protect the insect. Now we've got melanin in our mind, we've got it in our eyes, we've got it in our fingers, all around our body. contain melanin. Now what happens is, these chemicals, they replace the melanin within the body and start to act as if they were melanin. So what they start to do is weaken and cause a situation to happen in the body called enervation. Now, enervation is an increasing of nerve energy. And when you get an increasing of nerve energy, you start to get something called toxemia. Now, toxemia leads to a toxic situation in the blood, and the blood starts to coagulate. Now, what we've got here is something called a multivitamin, pH balancer, and blood cleanser, an energy booster. It gets the immune system working to its highest level. And also a non-dairy whey protein. No non-dairy whey's got hemp in it and things like that. And also a anti-aging cream. When we look at anti-aging, we're not talking about wrinkles and that, although it does stop those things. We're talking about it going through the skin. The skin is the biggest organ in your body. It goes through the skin and works along with the multivitamin and cleanses the body. The protein strengthens the arteries. I had a lady who came to the clinic. She had a triple heart bypass. She also had stents in her arteries. She almost crawled into the clinic because she was so ill. And then afterwards, after about 4 weeks, she came back again. She said she ran for the bus to get back. She used to run in the park, and she was so strong, and she could lift up things that the doctor told her not to lift. Just really showing that as a people, we need what? We need sunshine. Do we need an abundance of chemicals? Can the body be healed without chemicals? Not saying that we don't need suppression at times in extreme cases. We're not saying never ever to use them. But the point I'm trying to make is, which one will actually heal the body? We're not talking about suppression. Which one will heal our body? Natural or chemicals? Turn to the person next to you and say to them, keep it natural. And I'll tell you the truth. I say to people, when they come to the natural health clinic, when they come to the natural health clinic, whether it be Harley Street or the East London clinic, I say to them, oh, can you please bring your chemicals with you? Or pharmaceuticals, whatever you want to call them, chemicals, pharmaceuticals. Bring them with you. The older they are, the more shopping bags there are. They're bringing Sainsbury's bags. I thought they were bringing some dinner for me. They're bringing shopping bags of pharmaceuticals. I say, do you know what's in these things? Oh no, the doctor said to take them. I got an appointment at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Oh, I can't wait. Sometimes we get excited about going to these appointments. Do you see the point? We're all cheerful. The nurses are going to pamper me. Ooh. Do you see the point? Yes, no, he said Thursday. I can't make it tomorrow. So the nice doctor said Thursday. This nice doctor that we've never met in our life, you know, some complete stranger. And your family will say to you, oh, come on, Mom, stop doing that. You know, it's not good for you. You know, you need to eat some vegetables, you know. I'm not listening to you. Where are your qualifications? This doctor's a good, nice man. Do you see the point? And we put our trust in complete strangers. All of our life, we hand it over to them. Do you see the point? Someone we've never met in our entire life. Here we are, here I am, the lamb to the slaughter. Thank you very much. He's thinking, yes. Wait till you get on my table. Do you see the point? Now, what we're looking for is a volunteer to do a live blood test. Who's going to volunteer? Who's going to be first? You can't, you just eat them. You have to hold it. You can come after. Let your food digest first. Right. Who's it? You want to be first? Shall I take her? All right then. Shall I take this lady here? Who says yes? There's so many hands. This lady in the middle there, she's looking so innocent. She's got this innocent face on. So come on, come on now. Give her a clap. Give her a round of applause. Does it hurt? Unbelievably. I'll tell you, your finger swells and it's terrible. My goodness. You're not scared? Are you scared? You're not scared? Wow, we've got a brave woman here, eh? Okay, so it doesn't hurt now. It doesn't hurt at all. And what it is the reason why it doesn't hurt, I've got special needles that are very gentle on the fingers, you know? So everything's specially put into place. And the thing is, I don't just do live blood testing. They didn't introduce me fully. I've got 3 PhDs, one in holistic nutrition, one in nutritional sciences, one in neuro-linguistic programming and clinical hypnotherapy. I'm also a clinical personal trainer. This is my book also, How to Master Health and Happiness. I used to do bodybuilding competitions, so it's written there. And I've got over 200 letters after my name for different forms of therapy, for homeopathy, clinical, biochemical medicine, shiatsu, and a number of different things. Psychotherapy, counselling. And what we do at the Natural Health Clinic, we do an 8-week program where we move you and motivate you to optimum health. Yeah? And afterwards, we are going to be doing some live blood tests for free as well. So that's just the blood test part. But if you've got illnesses and that, you can come and see us and we can arrange a program for you afterwards. Right. Idea, let's start. Okay, just bear with us a second while we inject, or sorry, prick, not inject. We prick this lady. Okay. Okay, so if you could just give us your finger now. Sorry, what's your name?
Sean.
Sean. Okay, Sean. So we just need your finger and we're going to prick your finger. Well, that's what you call a hard woman, eh? She didn't budge. Some men collapse on the floor because they get so nervous, but so you see, it doesn't hurt. It didn't hurt, did it?
No.
Shall I do it again? I don't think it went in properly. Let's do it again. Do it properly. Right, okay, so what can we see here? Right, one of the things I noticed straight away is that her protein level is very low. So the protein that's going into her body isn't actually fully doing its job. And what we can see as well is that the cells are coagulating almost immediately. So it's very small, yeah. So no, they said they can't plug it into there. So I asked them, so that they said they can't. So you have to come up and have a look once we've just have a quick look if you can. Oh, right, okay. Can you see it now? Sorry, if you could just move back. Can you see it now? Yeah. Can you see the blood moving? The blood's moving, it's starting to coagulate. Can you notice? And really, what should happen, it should stay alive and flourishing for about an hour, half an hour. What we're seeing is coagulating quite quickly. But we're not going to go too much into it because we don't want ladies to start getting frightened. So, yeah, all we can say straight away is that one of the things she needs to do is increase her protein level. And that will help her on this, yeah? Well, I'll talk to you about that afterwards, but at the moment, one of the things we can say is you need to increase your protein level. One of the things is that it needs to detoxify, it needs to be detoxified as well, the blood, because there are certain toxins in there that I'll speak to you about afterwards. Okay? So give a round of applause to Sean. Sean, well done, Sean. Yes, so what we can say is you can come up and have a look at the products. A lot of them will cleanse the blood, like for Sean's. She took the multivitamin pH balancer that would help to cleanse her blood. The protein would increase her protein levels. We've also got a rice here that has got higher levels of protein and lower starch than any other kind of rice. And we've got this cream is unbelievable. It's got natural herbs in that go through the skin, which is the biggest organ in the body, and cleanses the body. We've got cereal bars here, and we're going to be giving away 3 cereal bars as well. So we're going to be doing 3 live blood tests and 3 cereal bars. I doubt if I'll have enough for everybody in here, but you know, test one. That's your breakfast for tomorrow. Right, it's got natural herbs in again that are to do with cleansing the blood. So everything here, that's the key. Whenever disease is in the body, disease is in the blood. I'm not saying the whole of the Bible is true, but one of the things that is true in there, where it says, the life is in the blood. So we can look at it. When there's a disease in the body or disease, there will always be signs in the blood. Is my time up? Oh, okay. Thank you very much for listening to me. We encourage you to listen on Galaxy as well. Galaxy 102.5 on Thursdays from 6 to 9, and also I might be doing Voice of Africa soon on Mondays from 10 till 11. Okay, so listen to those radio shows. We go into health. You can phone in and ask questions. Thank you very much.
Does water have the same cleansing elements as your products?
What it is 2 aspects. We've got to look at water as like a conveyor belt within the body. So when you've got something within your cell, in your cells, you've got the deoxy ribonucleic acid, and you've got chromosomes, and you've got something called organelles. Now those 3 aspects make up the structure of the cell. You've got within the cells are biconcave, and within that structure, you've got a combination of hemoglobin and iron. And on top of that, there are 4 oxygen molecules and a membrane. Now, water makes all of those things within the cell and outside the cell work. So they're just 2 different aspects, and both are needed. Does that answer your question? Yeah, you can't replace one for the other. But if you look, I'll give you an example of how well that works. I'll do a program, like a dietary program, designed specifically for you as an individual. Because what it is, when people come out with this Atkins diet, all these different diets, and try and generalize, it doesn't work. You will still get disease. Diets should be specifically for you as a human being. Yeah, and that's what we organise. So we had one person on a diet, and we had one person that was taking that. The person that just took that, we checked their blood cells, and and their cells, the membrane, was sicker, so it could protect them from cancer, diabetes, hypertension, and all those things, more so than someone who did the program and didn't take the two. So the two marry each other, doing the program, the full body MOT, and also using the blood cleanser. It just cleanses the cell and hardens them. And we've got documented evidence to prove it. Pictures of people's blood, and it shows the cells step by step getting stronger and stronger and stronger as we check it. Yes?
Amlodipine doesn't help hypertension.
No, what I'm saying is, what we have to look at, amlodipine suppresses hypertension.
Suppresses hypertension.
But it does not make it better. If you read the instructions in the box, it tells you that it can cause hypertension, and now they put it can cause death, because they completely protect themselves. So it does not, it's like there's a crack in the wall, right, and you wallpaper over the crack, and then you wallpaper over the crack. What's happening to the crack at the back? It's getting bigger, and so the time you started taking it until now, it's just got worse and worse and worse behind the scenes. Your body can only be made better and heal naturally. Chemicals only hold back. So when we take the reading, like we do your blood pressure, we take the reading, it appears to be lower on the reading, but the actual problem is still there. The root is still there. Yeah, we need to cleanse it and get rid of the problem.
We will welcome on stage the Afrique troupe.